In this video, we'll look at an inside hip block throw performed by Olympic medalist Mohamed Ibrahim Elsayed. This throw is a great option in Greco, freestyle, folk style, or any other style of grappling. Let's see the throw first at 100% speed. Now let's see it once at 50% speed. Let's talk about this throw in 3 phases. So we're gonna have the upper body control, we're gonna have the footwork, and we'll have the finishing mechanics. So to begin here, Elsayed's gonna have this deep right arm underhook. He's also gonna have this wrist control on the left side. So it's important that you have upper body controls on both sides. Next is gonna be the footwork. So just to see it a few times here. So the first thing to look at is Elsayed's left foot. He's gonna step that foot back here. So he steps the left foot back, and then he's gonna get really deep with that right foot. So look at how deep he's stepping with that foot. So right here you can see, imagine that the opponent has this line between his feet. You can see Elsayed is past that line here. So he gets a lot of depth with that step, which is gonna be important. What he's doing, his positioning once he steps that foot deep, is he's blocking the opponent's inside hip. So the opponent's left hip is blocked by Elsayed's hips here. So we've got the upper body controls, the underhook. You can see from this angle, deep underhook, wrist control. We've got the footwork, and especially this deep step is really important with the hip blocked right here. And then lastly, let's talk about the mechanics of the finish. So the underhook in this case is gonna really draw the opponent forward. So Elsayed's gonna hang his weight here. He starts bringing his head and torso towards the mat, and that's gonna draw the opponent towards the mat as well. So you can see how he's really using this underhook to draw the opponent forward. The opponent does manage to post out with his right leg, which buys him a little bit of time, but it's ultimately not gonna prevent him from falling to his side. So the finishing mechanics, once the hip is blocked, you first want to draw the opponent out of that upright positioning. Right now the opponent's fairly upright. See how now his posture is broken. In addition to drawing the opponent out of that upright positioning, we also want to think about the rotation here. So that wrist control that Elsayed has is going to help twist the opponent down here. So you block that inside hip, that's gonna force the weight to the opponent's right leg. And then you want to also pull that right arm, in this case at the wrist, to rotate the opponent to their right shoulder, which is what's gonna happen here on the finish. So I guess going back, one other thing worth mentioning, I would consider this upper body control of the wrist control, I would consider this a more advanced variation because it's going to be more difficult to generate, for the finishing part of this, to generate that rotation. You can see the opponent's shoulders are relatively square to the mat here, which is usually good for the opponent. We really want to think about rotating them, and the wrist is not always the most efficient way to do that. However, one advantage of the wrist is it's going to generally be easier to get. It's also going to make the opponent maybe less, what would the word be, paranoid or less feeling in danger. They're not going to have this intuition that a big throw is coming oftentimes when their wrist is controlled, versus if you were to get a deep tricep grip, they may feel that. So that's one advantage of the wrist. So just a few more times. Switches that left leg back, steps deep with that right leg, draws the opponent forward, pulls the wrist towards him, takes him to his right shoulder. Let's see it one more time, slowed down. That'll do it for this video. To support my work, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Please also consider becoming a member through YouTube memberships or Patreon for access to exclusive breakdown content. Please note that we are in the process of revamping our membership options. You will now be able to gain access to all exclusive content offered to date through either YouTube memberships or Patreon for $4.99 a month. If you are currently a Tier 2 member, which is the $9.99 option, through YouTube memberships and wish to remain a member, you will need to manually downgrade to the Tier 1 $4.99 option prior to October 1st, at which time the Tier 2 option will be deleted. Thanks for watching.